Have you ever wondered about the secrets that plants keep? How do they communicate, defend themselves from predators, and even form bonds with other species? The book The Secret Life of Plants, by Peter Tompkins and Christopher Bird, explores these mysteries and much more through a series of innovative scientific experiments. In this video, we'll dive into the world of plant intelligence and discover the wonders that exist within them. Welcome to Occult Botany, a channel that takes you on a journey through the mysterious and magical world of plants. Our channel explores the intersection of science and mysticism, investigating the hidden secrets of the plant kingdom. We believe that plants are more than they appear, and we are here to uncover their hidden mysteries. Subscribe to our channel and join our community of plant enthusiasts. Together, we will unveil the secrets of occult botany. The evolution of life on Earth is a fascinating story that spans millions of years. Plants, in particular, have played a key role in shaping the world we live in today. They provide the oxygen we breathe, form the basis of the food chain, and provide medicines and construction materials. In addition, they are able to defend themselves and form bonds with other species. These plant abilities suggest they have an intelligence and an ability to adapt to their environment. But does this mean they possess consciousness? Do plants think and communicate? And what if I told you that everything you know about plants could be wrong? What if, behind their innocent green appearance, they hide unknown and mysterious secrets? After years of research and observation, do we really know plants as well as we think we do? These are questions that challenge us to rethink everything we know about the plant world, and invite us to explore the mysteries of occult botany. Modern science still does not have a clear answer to these and other questions about these higher organisms. However, the authors of The Secret Life of Plants present a series of experiments that suggest that plants may indeed have a form of consciousness. These experiments show that plants are capable of responding to stimuli in complex ways and may even have a form of memory. This suggests that they have the ability to process information and make decisions based on that processing. Are you interested in learning more? Then let's explore more of this magnificent work and these impressive experiments together. Peter Tompkins and Christopher Bird were pioneers in the study of plant consciousness. Their book, The Secret Life of Plants, published in 1973, was an innovative work that challenged our understanding of the natural world. The authors traveled the world to study plant behavior and conducted numerous experiments that showed how plants are much more than just passive entities, suggesting that plants may have a form of consciousness, as well as the ability to communicate with other species. In one of the experiments reported in the book, scientists measured the electrical conductivity of a plant while it was subjected to different stimuli. These stimuli included, for example, approaching the plant with a flame or threatening it with a knife. Surprisingly, the scientists found that the plant responded to each stimulus differently, suggesting a capacity for discernment and sensitivity. Furthermore, the plant's response was similar to that of a human brain, raising fascinating questions about the nature of consciousness and plant intelligence. In another experiment, scientists discovered that plants are capable of recognizing their relatives and communicating with them. They placed several plants in the same environment and found that the plants grew towards their relatives, avoiding touching other plants. In a very interesting experiment, scientists discovered that plants are capable of recognizing the sound of a caterpillar chewing on their leaves and producing a chemical substance to repel it. To test this hypothesis, scientists played recordings of the sound of a caterpillar chewing near some plants, and in others, they played nothing. Surprisingly, the plants that heard the sound of the caterpillar produced more repelling chemical substances than those that did not hear anything. In addition, plants were also able to distinguish the sound of the caterpillar from other sounds, such as wind or other background noises. These results suggest that plants have an auditory perception capacity that was previously unknown. This discovery has practical implications for agriculture and ecology, which can benefit from a deeper understanding of plant sensory mechanisms. These results suggest that plants have sophisticated defense mechanisms against herbivores, and can adjust their defensive response according to the type and intensity of the attack. In an experiment mentioned in the book, scientists discovered that plants can sense human emotions. They put a group of people in a room and asked them to think about different emotions, such as anger, sadness, and love. Meanwhile, the plants were monitored and recorded a change in their electrical activity, suggesting that they were picking up on human emotions. This suggests that plants are not just inert and lifeless beings, but rather creatures capable of interacting with the environment around them. In addition, the research may have implications for understanding the relationship between plants and humans, as well as for the use of plants in natural and healing therapies. In the book The Secret Life of Plants, one of the experiments revealed that plants possess surprising communication abilities. Scientists observed that plants are capable of producing nectar with different sugar concentrations to attract specific bees. Additionally, plants can adjust the amount of nectar produced based on various factors, including the time of day and weather conditions. This experiment suggests that plants are capable of perceiving their environment and adjusting their behavior to improve their survival and reproduction. In an interesting experiment, scientists discovered that plants can distinguish between different types of music. They played different styles of music for the plants and found that some music, like classical music, seemed to have a positive effect on the plants, while others, like heavy rock, seemed to have a negative effect. The discovery that plants are capable of perceiving sounds and responding to them opens up new possibilities for understanding ecological interactions between plant and animal species. For example, can plants use sounds to communicate with each other and with other organisms? These fascinating experiments show us that plants have incredible abilities that we still do not fully understand. They lead us to question whether plants have consciousness and are capable of thinking and communicating, which is a topic of heated debate among scientists and philosophers. In addition to the intriguing experiments described above, The Secret Life of Plants also features accounts of the emotional bond between plants and the people who care for them. One such account involved an experiment in which plants were exposed to different people. Scientists found that plants cared for by loving and gentle people grew more quickly and appeared healthier than plants cared for by indifferent or cruel people. Another interesting experiment involved communication between a plant and its human caretaker. Scientist Dorothy Ritalik discovered that plants grew more quickly and appeared healthier when exposed to music and loving words than when exposed to negative music and words. These experiments suggest that plants are sensitive to emotions and human presence and can benefit from positive interaction with people. They lead us to further question the relationship between plants and the people who care for them and whether this relationship is truly a one-way street. These are just a few examples of the experiments described in the book The Secret Life of Plants. In addition, scientists have found that plants exhibit a form of memory and are capable of predicting future events. Through their experiments and observations, Tompkins and Bird showed that plants are much more complex than we ever imagined. They are living beings that can think, feel, and communicate with each other. But you might say, these experiments are old, so they are outdated. Well, I have to tell you that things are not quite like that. Recent research suggests that plants may be more conscious than we previously thought. Science continues to advance, and new research emerges to support these surprising findings. You would be impressed with what is currently being discovered. Recently, studies have demonstrated that plants possess cognitive and sensory capabilities far beyond what was previously imagined, suggesting that the experiments reported in the book may be on the right track. In an experiment conducted in 2018 by scientists from the Lausanne Botanical Garden in Switzerland, plants were subjected to different conditions, such as high and low temperatures, lack of water, and lack of nutrients. The results showed that plants were able to adapt and change their behaviors in response to these situations. Additionally, the study also found that plants are capable of remembering these experiences and adjusting their future behavior accordingly. For example, plants that were exposed to high temperatures and lack of water were more resilient to these conditions in the future. Another interesting research involves studying the Mimosa pudica, a plant that reacts dramatically to touch or being threatened. When touched, the plant quickly closes its leaves to avoid damage. Scientists discovered that the plant is also capable of remembering the stimulus and reacting similarly to it again, even after an extended period. These examples demonstrate that plants have the ability to learn, remember, and respond to the environment. They are more complex and intelligent than previously thought and continue to be the subject of recent studies and discoveries. Additionally, some recent research supports the idea that plants may have a rudimentary type of consciousness that allows them to perceive the environment around them and even feel the presence of other nearby plants and organisms. In 2019, in an experiment that involved studying plant communication, a group of scientists from the University of Western Australia discovered that plants can talk to each other through an underground network of fungi. These networks of fungi allow plants to share nutrients and information, such as the presence of predators or diseases. This suggests that plants may have a form of communication that allows them to coordinate and defend themselves together. These underground networks of fungi, known as arbuscular mycorrhizal networks, can reach surprising sizes in a forest. In fact, researchers have found that these networks can extend for hundreds of kilometers. In some forests, such as the Canadian boreal forest, arbuscular mycorrhizae can cover an area equivalent to several soccer fields and connect the roots of thousands of trees and other plants. The roots of the plants are connected by this network of mycorrhiza, which allows them to share nutrients and information. This means that one tree can help another tree survive by sending nutrients and water through this underground network of fungi. Some studies show that trees in a forest can even communicate to prevent pests or diseases from spreading. This happens when a tree is attacked by an insect or a disease. It produces chemical compounds that alert other trees in the area about the danger. Although much is still to be discovered about the cognitive abilities of plants, these studies and others like them suggest that we are just beginning to scratch the surface of a deeper understanding of plant life, and that plants may have much more to teach us than we imagined. It is impressive to think that, beneath our feet, there is a complex and fascinating world of ecological interactions that we have barely begun to understand. This discovery about arbuscular mycorrhizae shows us that plants are much more than solitary and isolated beings, but rather part of a vibrant and interdependent community in the forest. So, next time you take a stroll through a garden or a forest, remember that the plants around you are not just ornaments, but living beings with their own secrets and mysteries. Classic works such as The Secret Life of Plants are mandatory reading for those who want to unravel the mysteries of the natural world. If you're interested in learning more about this classic work, check out the link in the description of this video. Did you enjoy this video? Then subscribe to the Occult Botany channel and turn on notifications to receive more content about the mystical and scientific universe of plants. Give us a like and share with your friends. Your help is very important for the growth of the channel and for us to continue exploring the mysteries of botany. Until the next video.